What's up, Baltimore? It's your boy Nick Burr. And with it being National Travel and Tourism Week, the No Picks After Dark podcast with my guy, Aaron Dante, will be doing a 4-part special series sponsored by Visit Baltimore. So get ready, turn up your volumes, because you'll hear all about the power of travel with Baltimore's hospitality community and how they all came together to create a great experience for visitors, whether you're from out of state or right around the corner. So welcome to Baltimore. Ayo, Aaron, talk to him.
Welcome back to the No Picks After Dark podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Dante. Today, we have a very, very special guest on, Mr. Enrique Pallares from the Wine Collective. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, Aaron. I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
I'm so excited to have you on, man. I toured your facility last week. I was blown away what Baltimore has. A beautiful gem in the middle of the city. I came back home. I told family and friends, I said, I have a new place to go to now. I can sip wine.
Thank you. We love it. We love it too. We love it dearly.
Have some calamari and just sit back and relax. I like that. That sounds like I'm on a Spanish or French Riviera relaxing. So I appreciate you giving me a tour, sir.
Of course, anytime.
So tell the audience a little bit about you. Enough about me. This is your show. Tell the audience about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Enrique Pallares. My brother and I started a winery here in Maryland a few years back called Casa Carmen. And then we paired up with our partner, who's a Napa winemaker, John Levenberg, to start the Wine Collective. That is basically a group of vineyards in the region, all within 100 miles from here, that we're all together to try to make wines that are, quality focused, sustainable, local wines and vermouth. And that is what drives us, an obsessive, passion for quality and for just the great things in life.
Now, you told me a beautiful story when I was with you, and I want the audience to hear that they're listening from everywhere. Why did you choose Baltimore? You told me something that was really beautiful, and I want you to repeat it, audience, guy, because I don't want to just get that. I want the world to hear it.
Sure. Well, I don't know exactly what I said. I say a lot of things, but I'll tell you, what I love about this city and the reason why we chose it is because it's real. It's so real. And, when we were first considering this project, we looked at a lot of cities and a lot of places on the East Coast, and just there is something about the heart of Baltimore that is so beautiful and that we just fell in love with. Our place, even the design of our place, is meant to kind of emulate that. It's, when you look at it from the outside, it is a big warehouse under a bridge, and you don't think much of it. And then when you look at it inside, it's absolutely beautiful and full of authenticity and real good things happening.
That is, you said the same thing to me, and I was like, I'm sold, brother. I'm sold. So, this week we're talking about the power of travel, or the National Travel and Tourism Week.
Sure.
Why is travel, even in and around your own city or region, important?
Yeah, look, I think that is a question that is very close to my heart. We have lived the life of gypsies, my family and I, in many ways, and we even have a wine called the Nomad because of that reason. But I think that the heart of the answer is that the more that you go outside yourself, the more that you know yourself. I'm not sure that self-knowledge is possible without travel. And that starts with your region. It starts with your city. It starts with your neighborhood.
Yeah. And, what would you say to people who like this coming into Baltimore? Like, what would you say to them like traveling here? Like how beautiful this place is around here?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Baltimore has all sorts of amazing things to explore about it. One of the greatest things is, and maybe our best kept secret in Baltimore, is the amazing food scene here. The food and bev scene in Baltimore. It's, it doesn't get the credit that it should. So I'd say, explore all the little restaurants, in all the bars in the different neighborhoods. There's so much great stuff happening, and just kind of go with your gut and just get lost and explore the different neighborhoods. Don't stay just in one neighborhood. There's a lot to see.
So how did you work together with the community to get through this time during the pandemic? Like, how did you work the community and say, hey, we're here, whatever you need? Did you work with anything making sanitizer, anything like that during this pandemic, during this time period?
Yeah, I mean, we did a few things. We kind of, found ourselves kind of in the front lines of COVID. Obviously, all the food and bev industry was so disproportionately affected by this. We try to help our team and those that work as servers and bartenders as much as possible. We were part of things like the tip jar and stuff like that. Many of those efforts, but we worked with I think very important community partnerships. People like Martha Lucius and Dave Seal and Nicole Atkinson from Push to Start, and the many food and bev influencers like Chino and many others that supported us through that time of we were opening in the middle of a pandemic. So it was a matter of getting even our name out there was very, very different than anything that we've done before in another business. And then obviously, we work closely with our community partners and lenders and creditors and people like that. We're saying understanding what's going on in the front lines. That was all really, really important. I mean, open communication streams and just kind of saying, being in this together really means understanding what is happening with the businesses that are in the front line. And I think, food and bev and hospitality is definitely at the front line of this.
One thing I remember when I was walking and talking with you the other week was that you were having your grand opening right when the pandemic was starting. And I mean, you told me, you walked me through the whole situation. And I just love that you guys kept on pushing. And it's like, we're going to make it through. We're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep on working. We're going to make this happen. And I just love the perseverance and that strength of that Baltimore strong, or, it may be cliche, but I like how you just pushed through. That's the part about the city I like. Blue collar, hardworking, making it happen. And I just like what you guys are doing. Just like, we're going to make this happen. It won't be the grand opening we wanted, but we're going to still make this for Baltimore and make it happen.
It's going to take more than a pandemic to beat us.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And we'll be right back, folks, after these messages, 30-second messages, right back. Experience sustainable, quality-driven craft wine and vermouth made in Baltimore City from a collective of some of the best vineyards in the region. Served alongside a full menu of pinchos and tapas made from local produce, cured fish and meats, cheeses, and premium Iberian tinned fish. Visit us at 1700 West 41st Street, Suite 490 at the Union Collective in Baltimore. On the web at www.winecollective.vin, V-I-N, or follow us on social media at the Wine Collective Baltimore. Come and experience the Wine Collective, a place like no other. And we're back, folks. And again, this has been an amazing conversation I'm hearing with Mr. Enrique Pallares from the Wine Collective. I mean, they opened during the pandemic and they're still going strong. When I went to the tour, I was blown away how beautiful the facility was, how he was so welcoming to come in and give me a tour of it. And his staff was amazing. His brother was amazing. Felt like home. And that's what I like about Baltimore. You feel like you're home anywhere you go. And that's one thing. Now it's on top of my checklist of places for family and friends to come out of town to go. So that's definitely going to be, just give kudos to you and your staff and your team. So when the pandemic happened, did you think it would last this long?
It's funny. I actually was one of the ones that did. Once everything really shut down, I think it raised some flags, and I thought well, this is really serious for the world to shut down the way that it did. And even when things started reopening in June, July, August, it definitely felt like an in between, and it felt like it was going to close again. To be honest, I did expect help to come from the federal government, to be proportionate to how long it's been, and that help hasn't been proportionate. But it is what it is.
And so I guess when things are starting to open back up, they're starting to open back up slowly, as you can see, and hopefully, people are getting back out. How are you getting people back to the Wine Collective? How are you advertising? How are you getting people to come back and say, it's fine to come in? We have options. We have outdoor options. We have indoor options. What are you guys getting to the public so they know what's going on?
Yeah. So in terms of avenues of communication, we do a lot of social media to stay in contact with our customers, and it's all organic. We just like to be transparent and chat with people and tell them what we're doing, and what we're doing is the same thing that we've done from the beginning. Is try to keep everybody as safe as possible, and we have commercial winery level ventilation, which is really really high end, and we have 20-foot ceilings, safe spacing. We have two huge garage doors that are almost always open whenever possible, and then we have also outdoor seating, a tent outside on the parking lot as well. But in some ways, the inside here of the winery, it's almost like an outdoor, anyways. It's even as cold as an outdoor. It feels safe, and I think people feel safe when they're here, and that's why they keep on coming back.
So there was something that we again back to this tour, because I want to express how much I appreciated the tour. There were some really cool things you showed me that I just want to give people a little peek behind the curtain, a little peek. And you were showing me how champagne was being made, correct? Is that how you're doing? Give it a breakdown real quick. I know people can't see me, they can see it, but I guess how did you get into all this making champagne? And to me, I was fascinated because I was like, wow, I want to buy local. This is where I want to buy now. And I don't think a lot of people know that. So give us a little background of like the champagne process and how you guys do it at your right in-house.
Yeah. So we're just obsessed with craft in general, and with the craft of making wine and fermentation, right? So everywhere from our still wines to our sparkling wines to our vermouth, we do everything 100% in-house. What you're referring to with our sparkling is the champenoise method, which is basically that you do a first fermentation in tank, and then you put the wine in the bottle, and you do a second fermentation in the bottle, and then that CO2 that is being produced from that second fermentation gets trapped because the bottle has a crown cap, like a beer cap on, and that's how it gets just naturally bubbly. And then when you open it up, it's amazing how bubbly it is, and it's all 100% of a natural process. And we always use natural ingredients and try to do minimal intervention and natural yeasts and stuff like this. And I think we create a very good product that is.
And I will tell you, I really enjoyed that part. Now, for me, when I would go for wine, I would drive to Virginia, or I would drive to Southern Maryland to go to wineries. We have one in our own backyard in the city that we don't have to go far at all. Did you look at that when you first looked at it, opening up the wine collective?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I was one of those people that was driving, farther to go to wineries. And one of the reasons why we decided to come to Baltimore too is because it is Baltimore doesn't have an urban winery and doesn't have a neighborhood winery, and it's great that we can have every single part of the production in-house. You can come in here and learn everything that there is to be learned about wine. And more, even cooler than that, is that you can actually treat us as a winery, not so much like a wine bar or a restaurant, but we're a little different in the sense that by being manufacturers, we have all the wine right here, and we have programs like we have an Italian swing top bottle program, which is basically like a wine growler. We'll sell you the bottle. We fill it up from the tap, and we have sparkling and still wines and vermouth on tap. And then every time you come back, you pay less to get it refilled, and we save the environment, and you can just swing by every week and get your wine for the week.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, folks. Right in our own backyard, urban oasis. We have a wine place in our backyard. So, what have you learned? And from the business standpoint, from this pandemic, what have you learned from this? Everything that's gone through now, because we're coming towards the end, we're getting close. But what have you learned from a business standpoint?
Man, I've learned gratitude, Aaron. I really have learned that when there are moments that we think that we really can't keep going, and that we're on the verge, and that we're about to crack, and that there's a deeper source of strength and grit that emerges from somewhere else. And I think that this is what people mean when they talk about grace, and for that I am deeply thankful that we can just keep going even beyond where we think that we can keep going. There's more strength there, and we just keep going, and we do it together. That's the key, to have people around you to support you and give you love in those moments.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it, man. And where can we find you on social media? I mean, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I mean, there's so many out here. I lost track of them, but where can we find you? So when people come in town, they can look you guys up, they can Google you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, we do Facebook and Instagram, and it is the Wine Collective Baltimore is our handle. So you can find us there, and or you can go to our webpage, which is winecollective.vin, VIN as wine in French, and or you can just come down to the Union Collective, 1700 West 41st Street. We are Suite 490, which is all the way at the end, almost under the bridge there. That's that last spot is ours. You can come see us, or you can visit us online. We also do free shipping in all of Maryland and DC. So you can just order wine on our website, and by the next day, at the most 2 days, you'll have it in your house for free. So,
I just found that out. I don't want to say that too loud around my household. And everybody, it's gonna be like Amazon. I am the Amazon of wine. I can't have that. but definitely, I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm really hopeful that people hear this, understand what a beautiful thing we have in Baltimore. People from around the region, when they travel to Baltimore, they can come down to Wine Collective, hang out, relax. People from out of town, you know what? That's gonna be one of my first stops. Taking them there because it's really a jewel that we have in the city. So I appreciate you taking time out your day to hop on a NoPixAfterDark podcast. Thank you so much, sir.
absolutely, thank you, Aaron. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here, man.
Peace, love, and happiness. We're out.
A lot of businesses revamp extremely quick. Everything from coffee shops, dinner, bars, hotels. We're ready.